Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Monica Garcia from First Coast News. We are downtown, or the Riverside area, here at the Red Cross headquarters, because now is the time to prepare. And of course, we have Christian Smith. You're with Red Cross. We have all these items out here on the table. What are we looking at?
Well, obviously the kit is the funnest part. So if you haven't put your kit together, now's the time. You want to start with things like your basic water, right? How much water do you want a gallon? How much do you want per person per day?
Gallon per person per day.
Good girl.
Yes.
What do you do with that gallon? How much of it? What's cooking and cleaning and what's drinking?
I don't know.
You don't know. Good. You don't know.
No,
That's
I
good.
don't know.
Half is for drinking and
Okay.
the other half is for cooking and cleaning.
Wow.
Okay, perfect.
So you were saying that you don't go get all these water bottles because that can get expensive. I know this.
Well,
What do you do when you go get one
you
of
want to
these?
have some of this,
Yes.
right? But because we want individuals. But then this is really nice if you get these 5 and 10 gallon ones. You can buy these containers. You can fill them up
Yeah.
before the storm, and then you'll have them. And so if you need a gallon of water per person per day,
Yes.
that's a lot of gallons.
Yes.
So that makes it easier. And then we go over to my favorite part, which is the food. You really want to think about this is not Gilligan's Island. The storm is not here. There is still time. You can go to your local stores and get food. And if you're on a budget, I was just at Winn-Dixie getting some things, and they have lots of things right now. They're buy one, get one free, so it gives you the opportunity. Things that you can eat right out of the can. You don't have to cook. You don't have to prepare. You pop the top up, and you go.
I'll tell you what, just judging off of our Twitter, all the pictures that you folks at home have been sending, a lot of the store shelves, they look bare right now, but they're going to restock.
That's right.
So when they restock, I know we talked about a lot of places having more water today and food. Go grab it. Make sure, like Christian just said, it's things that you like, and be prepared, of course, because we're not expecting anything, as meteorologist Mike Pringley told us, probably till sometime this weekend around Sunday. So you have a lot of days to do so. Costco's line yesterday. It was all the way down at 295, huge long line, people in and out the doors. You don't want to be stuck doing that come this weekend, correct? Okay, so if you do have to go to shelter, okay, if you do have to leave your house, we have some items over here we want to show you. When you do go to a shelter, folks, what do they need to show up with?
Well, when you come to a shelter, obviously, you want to make sure that you have all your family members with you. You want to keep your kit in the car, but you want to bring a couple of things in. You want to bring things in like sleeping bags, pillows, blankets. Here we have a very special blanket,
Yes.
very special.
Something that stood out to me is what I really didn't think about is your important documents and all your prescription medication. You were saying this is super important. I mean, get all your medicine, especially if you really need this medicine. Have it ready, birth certificates, passports, all your documents in a safe, waterproof bag, right?
Yeah. And so when you think about your medications, think about this for a second. Do you take any kind of medication life-saving? Are you on blood pressure? Are you on heart medication? Anything that you have to take on a regular basis, we want you to have at least a 2-week supply. In a perfect world, and I try to live in a perfect world for about 30 seconds every day, then you would have at least a month's supply. But 2 weeks is usually generally good. And then the important papers, that can really make a difference, because the important papers are things like your last will and testament, your things that represent who you are, what you own.
Yes.
Copies of your important papers that are driver's license, social security card, your deeds, anything that would give you access to back to your home.
Yes.
Or things that you have purchased, and then things like your birth certificates and copies of your important papers like your driver's license, social security card. You're going to need those kinds of things in the event, God forbid, you would have situations where you need to access services.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. We're saying God forbid, but prepared. We want you to be prepared. So I wanted to show you guys what I always do constantly is charge all my electronics, correct? Make sure I have everything charged up, so when I do need to leave, especially us here at the news, we have, I can't even tell you how many different batteries we have, flashlights, all this stuff, even the wind-up ones. I know we had fun with this one earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, and I just have to say, Todd was making fun of me earlier about the Nokia, but I reminded him when he was young, which was not that long ago, kids love to play with these. So go and get all of your old Blackberries, your old anything, iPods, anything that has games and stuff, plug those in now, so that when the storm potentially comes, you'll have things for the kids to do. Don't let them play with your iPhones and your whatever you have.
Not the ones with the internet access.
Right.
We're talking about the old ones that the batteries last forever. I remember this
The
back in high
Blackberries,
school.
they can play games, it
Yes.
keeps them occupied. That's a great way to use all of your old stuff and not really mess with your new stuff. The other thing that's really cool is all of these new charger things.
Yeah.
You can charge 2 at a time.
So handy.
But eventually, all of these things are going to run out. So what else I like to tell people is that In the event, once the storm does pass, even if for some reason you're not able to leave your home or roads are impassable, you can go outside once it's safe and you can plug them into your car. That does allow you to do some charging.
Sure.
So we have some, little bit of tricks and trades there. And
Right.
of course, if you come into a sheltering environment, a lot of times immediately after the storm, in the event that we have power, then you'll see us try to have power stations so people can, plug things in and charge them up as well. So we try to make it easy, but there's some really basic practical things you can do. And a lot of stuff you don't actually have to go buy.
Right.
A lot of these
I like
things you're
that.
going to have right at your home. Probably going to have to go get some extra batteries. Probably going to have to get some extra canned goods. That's why those
Charging.
buy one get one frees are so great.
Yep.
And then the first aid kit. Most people have them. We would in a perfect world, again, we'd like you to have them all in one big container. You have them all together so that either A, you can take it with you into your safe room, or you can take it with you when you evacuate.
Okay, so that's sort of the first part of the plan. And so really quickly, we also want to tell people the second part of the plan is if you do decide to stay in your house, you need to locate that safe room.
And
what
you
are
heard
good
about-
safe room
Well, no,
ideas?
you tell me you go
Yes.
today.
Okay, so the
tell me.
safe room, which I would pick, is the bathroom because, well, you have everything there that you need. You put all this stuff inside the bathroom, take your sleeping bag, make sure it's super comfortable, plus the outlets there. You can, instead of pull out the hairdryer and put in, your phone. But also you mentioned a closet, or a hallway.
Yeah, because you may not have a bathroom that's accessible. It may be on an exterior wall, and so that won't work. So you may have to go into a closet. Remember, it's no windows and an area that's on the interior that you think is the most structurally sound. That's where you and your family are going to ride out the
Sure.
storm. So when Tim says
There you go.
it's time,
Yeah.
that's when you go into that room and you stay in that room. You do not leave that room until we know that the storm has passed. That's why it's so critical too that you have, and everybody makes fun of me, I call it a transistor radio, whatever, weather radio, all of those old-fashioned kind of
Sure.
terms. But you really need to have them because at some point you could lose everything, and we saw that during Matthew. So we want to make sure that everybody has the basic things in place. Not to scare anybody, but we do know that people that take the time to get prepared always come out of the disaster physically, financially, and emotionally better off because they took that time. Even when they have loss,
Right.
they still come out better. So some of these things can be fun too.
Yeah. Okay, so for all this information, we have it all on our website, firstcoastnews.com. You're going to want to click on weather, and then we have our Hurricane Central, all these details as well as your evacuation zones and another Red Cross. What's your guys' website?
RedCross.org.
Perfect. You can go there for more information. Thank you so much for talking to us. We were out here
Absolutely.
live all morning. We had a lot of informative things that we were able to share with people. And remember, now is the time to be prepared. Just so you can ride out the storm and feel safe and just, and comfortable. And
Yeah,
your kiddos and everything.
That's right. And for those people that that aren't quite there yet, if you're worried about it, there's still plenty of time. So take the time to sit down, put your plan out, talk to your kids, include everybody in the family. Go get those last minute supplies. And the best part about the supplies is normally we talk about the non-perishable, things you can eat right out of the can and the canned goods and things. Now's the time to go get your Snickers and your cheese puffs or whatever your favorite.
All the good
perishable
stuff
is.
before those
That's
are
right.
gone.
Those are the things you want to go get now to put in your kit.
Yeah.
And the best part is when that storm passes us and we don't have to deal with it, good news, you have all these great snacks.
That you already like. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Any questions? Anybody ask any questions?
Angelique asked if we need to start preparing now since it's not really in the middle of Florida anymore.
Yeah, well, so here in a perfect world, again, we would like you to have a kit year round.
Yeah.
So anytime there is any possibility for a storm to come into the area, you should always take the time to get prepared. Even if it's going to move, the worst thing that happens is that you have an extra supply kit.
Me
That's it.
personally, I would. Personally, yes, I would, based off of what I've been hearing from all our meteorologists, I would. Even if it's like the bare essentials, even if it is just flashlights, water, and some canned food.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's a great point.
And
There's
charging your phones.
There's five basic things at a minimum. You want your food and water, your tools and supplies, which are your chargers and your first aid kits and your tools and supplies. Then you want your copies of your important paper, and you want your batteries and
Yeah.
flashlights. Oh, I said that already.
Yeah.
And then your medications.
Yes.
And then if you have any specialty things, maybe you have small children, or maybe you're caring for some elderly. So that's the bare minimum.
And
that
that's
you want.
free. A lot of that, besides the water, I mean, that is free unless you have one of those gallons to fill up. So that's what I would be doing.
Yeah, and look, it's Angelique, right? There's nothing wrong with going and taking the time to get prepared because good news, we're still in the height of hurricane season. So if it's not this week, you'll need it. You'll probably need it next week.
Yeah, and September is Preparedness Month.
That's
anyway.
right.
So
So-
we are in the height of it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Let us know. You can feel free to post comments below this, even if it's later on, then we can go back and let you guys know everything. All right. See ya. Thank you so much.
Thank you.